Hi everybody, this is Crystal. Welcome to my channel, Bag O Day Crochet, where we talk about anything and everything that has to do with yarn or crochet. So today it's going to be about crochet. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you have not yet already. And there's also a link below to like over 1,000 crochet tutorials. All there free for you to enjoy. Today I'm going to show you how to make this ripple style blanket here. See, this is what it looks like. It's easy to do. I think it turned out really pretty. You can see, there you go, in the light a little bit better what it looks like. So this one measures about 45 wide and about 60 tall. You can make yours as wide or as tall as you like. I will give you the multiple of the stitch so you can adjust it to your liking. But yeah, I think it looks really good. It's really pretty. There was a little bit of color control on this, not much though. So, but of course you can use any colors that you like. So, you guys want to go ahead and do it? Let's get started and I'll go ahead and show you the yarn that I used. Okay, for this project I used Willow Yarns Verbena. It is a 3-weight yarn, a DK 3-weight. 75% superwash wool, 25% nylon. There are 370 yards per ball and 10 balls were used, so approximately 3,700 yards of a DK weight yarn or 3-weight yarn. You don't have to use this yarn. You don't even have to use a 3-weight. You can use any way that you want. I'm going to give you the multiple and then you can chain in that multiple to your desired length. Make it as wide as you want in case you want to use a 4-weight yarn or, you know, 2-weight yarn. You know, it really depends. But this is what I used. 3,700 yards, 10 balls. The color is called Evergreens. And then I'm using a size 5mm crochet hook. Alright, so this stitch is done in a multiple of 17 plus 2. In case you want to make yours bigger or smaller than mine, you chain the width that you want it in a multiple of 17 and then you add 2 more to the base chain. You want to follow along with me, start out with a chain of 240 stitches. So I'm using a different yarn, just a solid color so it's easier to follow along with, and I'm going to show you on a smaller scale. But once you get your chain of 240, we are going to do a double crochet in the 4th chain from our hook. So remember, the one on our hook doesn't count. So count over 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and put a double crochet like that. And then we're going to work 2 double crochet 2 togethers. So I'll go ahead and show you how you do a double crochet 2 together. Double crochet 2 together is worked over 2 stitches. So we yarn over and go into the next stitch and draw up a loop and yarn over and go through the first 2 loops on our hook. And then we yarn over and go into the next stitch, draw up a loop, yarn over and go through the first 2 loops on our hook. And then we have 3 that remain, yarn over and go through the remaining 3. So that is a double crochet 2 together. So we need to do 2 of those. So that was number 1. We're going to go ahead and do another one. Yarn over and go into the next stitch and draw up a loop. Yarn over and go through the first 2 loops. Yarn over and go into the next stitch. Draw up a loop. Yarn over and go through the first 2 loops. You have 3 loops that remain. Yarn over and go through the remaining 3 loops. Now we're going to start the repeat of row 1. We are going to work a chain 1 and a cluster over the next 5 stitches. So I chained 1 and then I'm going to show you how to do the cluster. So we're going to do that in the next stitch. So make sure you do your chain 1. Then we're going to yarn over and go into the next stitch, draw up a loop, yarn over and go into the same stitch, draw up a loop, and you'll have 5 loops on your hook. Yarn over and go through the first 4. There'll be 2 that remain. Yarn over and go through the remaining 2 and chain 1. So we need to do that 5 times. That was number 1. Again, go into the next stitch, yarn over, drop a loop, again yarn over into the same stitch, drop a loop, 5 loops on your hook, yarn over and go through 4, yarn over and go through the remaining 2, and chain 1. So that was 4 times we did, or I'm sorry, two times we've done that. We need a total of 5. Again, yarn over, go into the next stitch, drop a loop, yarn over and go through the same stitch, drop a loop, 5 loops on your hook, yarn over, go through 4, yarn over and go through the remaining 2, chain 1. So that's 3. Let's do it again. Yarn over and go into the next stitch, drop a loop, yarn over and go through the same stitch, drop a loop, yarn over and go through 4, and yarn over and go through the remaining 2, chain 1, and then we've done it 4 times there. We need to do it one more time. Yarn over, same stitch, drop a loop, yarn over, same stitch, drop a loop, 5 loops, yarn over and go through 4, yarn over and go through 2, like that. Then we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to do the double crochet 2 together like we did over here 6 times in a row. So we're going to yarn over and do the double crochet 2 together. Go into the next stitch, draw up, yarn over, go through the first 2, and yarn over and go into the next stitch, drop a loop, yarn over and go through the first 2, and then yarn over and go through the remaining 3. So that was 1 double crochet 2 together. We need to do 6 in a row. That's 2. Three. 4. 5. 1 more. And that is 6, just like that. Now we're going to repeat what we just did again, and we're going to keep repeating it until we get to near the end of the row. So again, we are going to chain 1 and do 5 of the clusters. So we go into the next stitch and work a cluster, just 5 loops, yarn over and go through 4, then 2 and chain 1, and then we go into the next stitch and work another one, make sure you chain 1 in between them. That's 2, that's 3, 4, do one more to make our 5, and then a chain 1, and then we do our double crochet 2 together 6 times again. So I'll go ahead and do that. Remember, it's the double crochet 2 together is worked over 2 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then we repeat again by chaining 1 and doing our 5 clusters with the chain 1 in between them, and then we do a chain 1 and do our 6 double crochet 2 togethers, and repeat with the chain 1 and then our 5 clusters with the chain 1 in between them, and then we chain 1 and do our 6 double crochet. You see it's starting to double crochet 2 together, so it's starting to make a wave. Now you're going to repeat this until you get to the last 11 stitches of your row. Alright, so once you make it to the last 11 stitches here, I just did 6 double crochet 2 togethers. Now what we're going to do is chain 1, and we're going to work 5 clusters with the chain 1 in between them. There's 1, 'I didn't even chain 1 in between that one. Sorry about that. Make sure you chain 1 in between them. Okay, so that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not going to chain 1 after this last one on the end. Now I'm going to do 3 double crochet 2 together over the last 6 stitches. So don't chain 1 after that last one, and go ahead and finish out by doing 3 double crochet 2 togethers. There's 1, 2, and that would be 3, and that will end row 1. So yours would be a lot longer than mine, but that's what it starts to look like. So row 2 and 3 are the repeat rows. So it's just a 2-row repeat, and they're very, very easy to do. So we're going to start row 2 by chaining 1 and turning our work. That chain 1 does not count as a stitch. What we're going to do now is work a single crochet in every stitch and in every chain 1 space all the way across. So we start by working into this very first stitch here, and we single crochet, and then we're going to single crochet 1 time in every stitch across, and in every chain one space. So make sure you get on top of this cluster and the chain one in between the cluster, on top of the cluster, chain one in between the cluster, top of it, in between it. Kind of gives them a little bit of space out there. And there's a chain one here that separates this set of double crochet two together in this cluster. And we're just going to continue across, making sure you put one single crochet in every chain one space and in every stitch until you get to the end of the row. Alright, when you make it to the end, you should have 238 single crochets, and that's what you should have on every time you repeat row 2. So we're going to start row 3, which is very similar to row 1 that we just did. So we're going to chain 1 and turn our work, and we're going to put a double crochet into the very first stitch right here. And then we're going to put a double crochet into the next stitch, like that. And then we're going to work double crochet 2 together 2 times. So there's 1, and again double crochet 2 together. That's 2, and then we start the repeat by chaining 1 and working a cluster chain 1 over the next 5 stitches. So we're going to cluster into the next. There's 1, chain 1. There's 2, chain 1. Three, chain 1. There's 4, chain 1. And here is our 5th cluster. And then we're going to chain 1 on after that, and then we're going to do 6 double crochet 2 together. So we did our 5 clusters with the chain 1 in between them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Chain 1 after the last one. Now we got to do our 6 double crochet 2 togethers. There's 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6, and then we are going to chain 1 and do 5 clusters to chain 1. So in the next stitch we do our cluster. So we're just repeating again. Chain 1. That's 1. Chain 1, that's 2. 3. There's 4. There's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make sure you chain 1 after that last one. And we're going to do our 6 double crochet 2 togethers again. There's 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6, and then you would chain 1 and do your do your 5 clusters with the chain 1, and then your 6 double crochet 2 togethers. So just keep repeating that until you get to the last 11 stitches of your row. Alright, I just did 6 double crochet 2 togethers, so I am going to chain 1 and do 5 clusters. There's 1, chain 1. 2, chain 1. 3, chain 1. 4, chain 1. And on the 5th one, we do not chain 1 after it when we're working our at the end of the row. We do not chain 1 after that. Make sure you don't chain 1 or it's going to throw your ripples off and your count off. So that's the only time at the end that we don't chain 1 after the cluster, okay? And then we should have 6 stitches that remain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We need to do a double crochet 2 together 3 times. So as you can see, it's pretty much the same thing as we did on row 1. That's 1 time. There's 2. And that is 3. And that ends row 3. Now I'm going to show you something real quick. If you look where your puff stitches are, they don't line up correctly. Like every other row they will. So if you see them, like you see how there's a puff stitch over here, that's normal. Don't worry about it. You're not doing anything wrong if it looks like that. That's just the way, she rolls. That's the way this ripple rolls. All right. Now you just keep repeating rows 2 and 3. So for row 4, we will repeat row 2. That's where we chain 1 and turn. And we do a single crochet in every stitch and in every chain 1 space. Chain 1 there. So I'm going to continue this until I get to the end of the row. Alright, I just repeated row 2 for row 4, and you still should have 238 stitches every time you repeat the single crochet row. And then for row 5, we're just going to repeat row 3, so we will chain 1 and turn. And we're going to put a double crochet into the first 2 stitches. And then we're going to do a double crochet 2 together twice. There's 1. There's 2. And now we're going to work our chain 1 cluster 5 times. So we chain 1 and then we do our cluster, chain 1 5 times. That's 1, 2, 3, chain 1, chain 1, that's 4, and there's 5, and then we need to chain 1 after that, and then we do our 6 double crochet 2 togethers over it. So I'm going to go ahead and do those. So we're just repeating row 3. Alright, I did my 6 double crochet 2 togethers, and I'm going to repeat again. I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to do my clusters, 5 of them. Chain 1 after it, that's 1, chain 1 after, that's 2, chain 1, that's 3, chain 1, that's 4, and then we're going to repeat by chaining 1. There's 5 of them that we did, and then we're going to do our 6 double crochet 2 togethers again. Make sure you chain 1 after that one. There's 1. So remember, we're just repeating what we did on row 3. 2, 3. My cat's tugging on my yarn. 4, 5, 6, and then you would repeat again by chaining 1 and doing your clusters, your 5 clusters in the chain 1s, and then your 6 double crochet 2 togethers, and you want to repeat that into your last 11 stitches. Okay, I have 11 stitches that remain. I just did 6 double crochet 2 togethers, chain 1 after it, and then I'm going to do 5 clusters here. Remember, we're still on row 5, and we're just repeating what we did on row 3. Chain 1 and chain 1, that's 2. It's 3, chain 1. It's 4, chain 1. There's 5, and remember, when we're at the end, we never chain 1 after our last cluster because we do not want to throw our count off. We should have 6 stitches that remain. You want to do a double crochet 2 together 3 times. Don't chain 1 there. There's 1, 2. And to try to keep the edge straight, I always try to go, when I'm doing my last double crochet cluster, I try to put my last part of it in that turn chain. That kind of keeps your row a little straighter. You don't have to, but there we go. There it is. That finished out row 5, which was just a repeat of row 3. So that's it. Rows 2 and 3, 2 and 3, the single crochet row, and then the cluster and the double crochet 2 together row. And just keep repeating that and repeating that and repeating that until you get it as long as you want it to be. So, all right, so like I said, I did a total, I think what I said was about 60 inches or so. I did a total of 180 rows, ended it on a single crochet row. Now, how many rows you do is really depending on what yarn you use. You don't, you could have a thicker 3 weight than me. You could be using a 4 weight, or, just do it as long as you'd like. But that is how many rows that I did. Now, you will notice probably on the ends it might start to curl up on you a bit, which is normal. So what you can do to combat that curling is put an edge on your blanket, a couple rows of single crochet, like evenly spaced out single crochet down the side, and put like 3 single crochet in the corners. I always like the ripples to keep that nice ripple at the top, so I try not to straighten out the ripples, but you could do the single crochets and that won't straighten them out. But the single crochet down the side will straighten out that curl, a couple rows of that. You could also do double crochets or front post, back post double crochet stitches if you want to do like a ribbing edge, something like that. But if you just want to get it nice and clean, a couple rows of single crochet will combat that curling on the end. But that is it. I hope you enjoyed my tutorial. It's so pretty and it's so easy. Once you get the hang of it and get that repeat down, you'll fly through it. So if you make this, I can't wait to see it. You can come and show me a picture on my Bag O Day Crochet Facebook page. I'll put a link to that below in the description box. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button. Give it a share too if you can. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button too so you don't miss out on any of my other videos. Thank you everybody for watching. Stay safe. Bye guys.